So, how do you take a test? What are test-taking strategies? Welcome to Purely Persistent. I'm Michelle, and I'm here in beautiful Santa Fe, New Mexico, and I am chatting with different adult basic education teachers that are going to let us know what some test-taking strategies are.
Okay, test-taking tips. You remember the test is testing your test-taking ability. It's not testing how smart you are or how intelligent you are or your self-worth. It's just testing how well you take that test.
So test-taking strategies and tips for students. My number one test-taking strategy would be to make sure that you are using your time efficiently and keeping an eye on the clock because you'll be timed. And then my second one is if there is a question that you absolutely don't know the answer to, skip it and come back. And then once you come back, if you still don't know the answer 100%, always guess the same letter every single time for the questions that you don't know, because statistically, you'll have a better chance of getting some of those questions right.
Be prepared. I know that's easy to say. Schedule it at a time that's good for you. If you hate mornings, don't schedule for the morning. If you are one of those weird people that's up with the sun, take an early morning test. Make sure you are well fed so that you are properly fueled. And just know that sometimes you might have to take it again, and that's okay.
Okay, test-taking tips. I think you need to make sure that you have studied everything you know you need to study, so make sure you're really clear on what's going to be on the test and what does it look like. For the GED test, definitely take the practice test because it looks just like what you're going to see when you go for the official. And I think do some looking at what do you need to do to calm any anxiety, because every one of us has math anxiety, has testing anxiety. So do look up some test-taking tips that deal with anxiety.
Test-taking tips is be consistent, answer all of the questions, don't leave any blank. Because when you leave it blank, that means you're volunteering maybe to get a 0 on that. Even if you don't answer and you guess well, you have a 50-50 chance of getting it right.
So you'll want to organize your study, plan it out, which section you might try first, and focus on one section. And also find yourself a quiet place where you can focus and do your study.
My best advice would be I think a cram session is kind of in order. That always does well, depending on, your mental capacity and how you can function with an overload of information. So if you do cram tests a day or two before, just reviewing, just a constant reviewing, but also most importantly, a really good night's sleep and to eat breakfast, don't go in hungry. Just clear out anything that you might find as a distraction, and I think that's about it. A lot of people have test-taking anxiety, myself included. I'm a poor test taker usually. So I kind of have to go out of my way to cater to myself and make sure that I show up with my A game.
Okay, so for test tips, I think the main thing is the practice tests for HiSET are really good. They give you an example of what kind of questions are going to be on there. That way you can kind of get a feel, what to study for, what to keep fresh in your mind. Those practice tests are really good, and especially they give you the answers in the back that are really detailed, so it explains it to you. It just doesn't tell you what the answer is. And it's good to go in prepared. You want to know what kind of questions are going to be on there. You want to practice your time management skills. You don't want to get stuck too long on any one question. Use your process of elimination. It's multiple choice, so process of elimination is big when it comes to your time management skills on that.
Hey, thanks so much for sticking to the end. The videos over here are exactly what you need to see next. And if you're new here, go ahead, subscribe below, and join our Purely Persistent community. Most importantly, go be yourself, believe in yourself, and of course, be purely persistent.